Hi, today we're going to take a look at a new camera bag series from MindShift called FirstLight, and this is the 30-liter version. Previously we have taken a look at two other bags from MindShift called the Horizon and the Panorama, both from the Rotation series. So let's start by taking a look at the build quality and the design of this bag. So let's take a closer look at the MindShift FirstLight 30-liter. On the front you have this zipper, which gives you a fairly small but tall compartment. Can't fit a lot of very thick things here, but maybe a passport or something like that in an airport can be a good idea. So this is the first compartment that we have. The second one that we have is here on the top, which allows us to squeeze in a fairly large laptop. I would say 15-inch should fit here perfectly okay. The only problem with this compartment is that you don't have a lot of protection. As you can see, this is pretty thin material. And just like with the MindShift Rotation Horizon, which can also fit a pretty large laptop, you don't have a lot of protection for the laptop in the front. So if something hits this part, your laptop is not really protected. So this is maybe one of the only drawbacks that we can give to this camera bag in terms of the general design. Now, let's look at the side. Here on the side we have a handle, which is fairly comfortable to hold. So for example, if you want to put this bag on the side, you can take it and hold it like this. So this is a very nice touch. We like it. Here we have the ability to mount or to put a tripod, and we have this lock on the top. So this is a fairly comfortable way of holding a tripod or a bottle of water or something like that, or anything tall that you would like to put and you don't want to put inside the bag. So this is what you have on this side. Let's look at the other side. Here we have another pocket like this, again with the same locking mechanism on the top for another tripod, which is really nice. But we also have a place for a water pack, like here. And we have this to connect the tube of the water pack, and we can squeeze it out of here and basically use it for drinking. So again, another place for something tall, tripod, monopod, or anything of that sort. Now another thing that you have, if you want to carry, let's say, a light stand, a tripod, and another tripod, or a bottle of water, tripod, and a monopod, or something of that sort, basically any combination that you would like of three things, you can also use this, and surprise, surprise, on the bottom we have, as you can see, another place to put a tripod. We actually prefer the side places to place our tripod, but this is a matter of personal taste. And this is actually quite a large space to put your tripod, and it's in the middle. So in case that you're hiking, let's say climbing a mountain, and you don't want any of the two sides to drag you, let's say to the right or to the left, then putting your tripod, if it's heavy, on the center of the bag is a good idea. On the other hand, it will pull you towards basically backwards. So it's not necessarily a good idea, but you can decide for yourself what is best for you. So this is in terms of all the compartments that you have on the front and the sides. On the top you have another nice touch. I'm not sure how much you can see this, but here you have another small pocket. Now, we would really love to use this pocket and have it a bit larger than what it is right now, because it's fairly small, and could be nice if it would be a little bit larger. And because of the straps that we have for the tripod, you also lose a bit of space here. But basically it's a nice place for a pocket, especially if you want something that is kind of protected, that nobody can actually reach, because this is more or less on your neck or your back when you're hiking, depending on how tall you are. So this is a good place for a concealed pocket, for a wallet, for example, but it's a bit small. So you need either a small wallet, maybe a small smartphone can fit in here, but nothing too big. So this is the final pocket that you have on the outside. And of course you have this handle, which is very, very comfortable to hold. If you want just to carry the bag, to hold it, or to take it from somewhere, this is very comfortable. Even if the bag is very, very heavy with a lot of equipment, this is a great addition. Actually, we would really like to see this on the Horizon or the Rotation series, the Horizon bag that we have seen. It has something which is much slimmer and not as supportive as this. So this is a very nice touch. All the straps, all the zippers has these sort of very easy to use, very comfortable small grips, which is cool. Let's look at the back of the bag. The straps are great. The back support is also very, very good. We walked with this bag with a lot of equipment, very, very heavy kind of gear, and we didn't have any issues. Obviously, this is a personal thing. You have this division, 3-part division. These are meant, I think, for allowing some dissipation of moisture from, let's say that you're hiking in a warm day, you're probably sweating, so this is a good idea, that not to have everything completely squeezed to your back. Here, as you can see, you have small straps that you can maybe tie to a few things. You don't have any pockets in here. You can make sure to use these to actually secure this to your back at the proper height. And you have the lower body straps that you can see here. It's very, very secure, like this. On the top, you also have the chest strap, small one, but very useful if you're walking for a long distance, for long distances. This is a very useful feature that you don't find in all bags, and we would really like to see in maybe other bags, but in here it's very useful. So this is basically everything that you have on the outside of the FirstLight 30 liter. If we compare the MindShift FirstLight 30 liter to the MindShift Rotation Horizon, which you can see on this side, you can see that they are very different bags. The MindShift Rotation Horizon is a larger camera bag. It's 34 liter versus 30 liter on the FirstLight from this model. But there are also other differences. First and foremost, the Horizon has a rotation mechanism on the lower compartment and a very large personal gear compartment on the upper part of the bag, while on the FirstLight you only have a very, very large compartment for photography gear. So they have very different purposes, and we think that very different target audience, but we will talk about this in a conclusion. So let's look at the main compartment of the FirstLight 30 liter. We open the bag like this with 2 large zippers, and it opens into a huge main compartment for your photography gear, and you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations or places for holding or storing your lenses or flashes or other, let's call it smaller gear. This configuration, obviously you can change it however you please, so you can put another small thing here, maybe a larger or smaller thing here if you add another divider. And on this side, as you can see, you have a very, very long and large place for holding a camera and a very long telephoto lens. So the FirstLight line of camera bags is designed specifically for carrying very long telephoto lenses. As you can see, you have this addition which comes with the bag, and it's intended for letting you hold the front element of a long telephoto lenses, 300, 400, 500, even 600 millimeter lenses, depending on the specific bag. This one is the 30 liter. There is a larger and a smaller version, so you need to know which camera bag fits your specific lens. So this can be placed either on the bottom or on the top, again, depending on the exact configuration that you wish to place your gear in. So this is really nice. Now, this bag comes with many, many dividers. This is just a very small part of what you actually get with the bag. So let's put this aside. And as you can see, you have another large divider which you can use. You have another large one which you can place in here. And you have many, many other smaller ones in different sizes. So basically you can do whatever you want in terms of configurations and places for putting your gear in. If you want a long telephoto lens, this is one option. You can put maybe a lot of smaller lenses and maybe several bodies inside this bag. So the configuration options are basically almost limitless in terms of what you get. And again, you basically get a lot of these dividers for just arranging this in whatever way you please. So this is in terms of the main compartment, really huge, very protected. As you can see, you have a lot of protection from all sides. This is really, really nice. And this specifically is intended, as we said, for longer telephoto lenses. Here you can see this is basically a 70 to 200 millimeter with a Canon. This is a 1DX, I think. And if you turn it around, you can see two other configurations. So you have a Nikon with a 500 millimeter f4. Obviously, we don't have this lens, so we can't show it to you, but MindShift was kind enough to print it basically on this paper which comes with the bag, so you can see what type of configurations you can make which will fit in this bag. So this is 500 f4 without a camera. The camera is here, and this on this side you have a 400 millimeter f2.8 with a body, a large body in this case, and another body in here, and two lenses and more accessories. So this is really nice. And in both cases you have the rain cover also in here. We also got it with the bag. So again, if it's a smaller lens, 70 to 200 millimeter, relatively smaller, you have a lot of places to put your gear. So 3 lenses in here, another body, flash, rain cover, and some more stuff. So lots and lots of configuration options in the main compartment. Now let's take a look at what we have on the other side. On the inside of the cover, we have, as you can see, 3 mesh nets, 2 larger ones and 1 smaller one. So they open with this zipper, and you can place inside all sorts of accessories. So this is a long cable for, let's say, tethering, for example. If this is what you need, you can place all sorts of things like memory card holder, maybe filter holder. And let's say that you have a remote. This is a wired one. You can place it in here. Basically all sorts of accessories. This is very useful. We only wish that MindShift maybe would have divided at least one of these into a smaller compartment for very small objects, for example, memory cards, so they won't, mix up with all the other stuff that you have here. But again, these mesh nets are very, very useful. We only wish there were more in the Horizon and the Panorama bags, because really mesh nets with zippers are really, really useful. So this is what you have on this side, and this basically concludes the entire look of all the compartments that we have on the FirstLight 30 liter. So let's conclude our experience with the MindShift FirstLight 30 liter. We had this bag with us for quite a few months now. We use it both in conjunction with the new Nikon 200 to 500mm lens that we have tested here recently, and as a general purpose camera bag for carrying our video equipment to and from locations. Although the 200 to 500mm Nikon isn't in the same size and weight category as some of the long telephoto pro lenses that this bag can actually fit, it is still a pretty large lens, and with a mid-sized camera it fills the bag nicely, although you still have some room for another lens or flash in front or behind it. The bag itself is very comfortable, though with so much padding it isn't super light, but we guess there is no avoiding this. And of course when we filled it up with gear we were looking at some serious weight on our back. Luckily, the back support and straps are great with lots of padding. We really suggest that you use the chest strap if you're taking lots of gear on a long hike. It really helps reduce the strain from your shoulders. There is very little not to like about the FirstLight 30L, especially if you're looking for a pro bag that can carry lots of photography gear and more specifically long telephoto lenses. We would like to see a bit more protection for the laptop compartment and maybe slightly more room in the top compartment that can hold both a wallet and a smartphone together. On a personal note, we usually prefer camera bags with lots of room for personal storage, like the Rotation Horizon, which is, in our view, the best RDO photo bag that we have ever tested. However, we fully appreciate the fact that other people might have different needs than ours, and more specifically there are people with longer lenses that need this type of outdoor camera bag. With that said, we feel that unlike the Rotation series, the FirstLight might be a great line of pro-level bags, but it is less innovative and it enters a place in the market which already has quite a bit of strong competitors. Talking about competitors, this series costs just a little bit more than some of the competition, starting at $230 for the 20-liter version and going way up to $330 for the large 40-liter version, with the one that we have tested selling for around $280. So this was our look at the MindShift FirstLight 30L version. You can read the full review of this bag on lensvid.com. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you on the next video.